next stop is On the Radar Radio.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, baby. On the Radar Radio. Yo, special guest in the building, Rhyan Besco in the building. My guy, welcome to the show.
What up?
From Arkansas.
Yeah, the river.
Correct?
Yeah.
You don't really have like an Arkansas accent, though.
Is it like not southern enough for you?
There it is.
You know, I mean, do that for the rest of
No,
the
because I feel like I've had people from Arkansas on the show before. Maybe not interviewed all of them,
Right.
but I feel like when I've met them, their accent has definitely been like a lot heavier.
I don't know what it is. Honestly, my dad, he's very southern. I say it all the time. Like, he has a deep southern drawl. Like, you know, he's very like, you know, my son, and he's very country like that. And he talks very, very slow. And my mom, she's like the complete opposite. So, like, I don't know. Like, I just kind of met in the middle there.
Right. You didn't get like the strong.
No, I didn't. I got lucky. Sometimes.
I
like,
got lucky is crazy.
Yeah. Sometimes, like, when my friends, like my LA friends will say, like, when I come visit home, they'll be like, oh, I hear your accent now. And then I'm like, I don't know. It just comes out.
I feel like it's probably like a subtle thing. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like how like people who have like parents who are from like, whether it be like, let's say you got like Puerto Rican, Dominican parents or Nigerian or Ghanaian parents. It's like you have like that little undertone of like an accent from home because they have it.
Yeah.
Because they were born overseas in other countries.
Yeah.
But you just don't have it that much. It's kind of like that for you.
Yeah. Also, like, I grew up very sheltered too. So, like, I wasn't exposed to like all of my country cousins like that. Like, my mom just really kept me in the house for most of the stuff.
Why were you sheltered? Just your mom didn't want to let you outside?
Dude, my mom, like, I love you, Mom. She's like afraid of the world. Like, she don't even get on elevators. Like, she just like.
Not on elevators. It's crazy.
Yeah, she won't.
My
even,
mom's afraid of the world too, but my mom will get on
no,
the
my
elevators.
Mom, she will not get on the elevator. She like,
Really?
are there stairs? And like, she don't care how many stairs, unless it's like 50. Then she's like, nah, I'll just see you next time. Like, it's that bad. Yeah.
What happens? Has your mom ever gone through like the Atlanta airport where it's like, you know what I'm talking?
She's
you know
never been on a plane.
About. Your mom never been on a plane?
Never been on a plane. Has no issues with riding the Greyhound. She'll take a Greyhound and be like, I'll see you in like 6 days. I'm like, the trip is over. Like, I'll see you in 6 days.
So your mom hasn't even left the country then?
No.
She's been in Arkansas this whole time?
Yeah, a little bit of like Kansas. You know, I mean, she's visited other states, but for the most part, she's like lived in Arkansas.
So, but where does like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to delve too deep into like your mom's psyche here, but like, where does all this come from where she's just afraid of the world?
I don't know. You know, she grew up in a very, very small town called Dumas, Arkansas.
Okay.
So the population is probably like 40 people. Maybe 100. Like, you know, it's not a lot of people.
Yeah.
So like, I guess when you grow up like small town, like there's really no reason to leave. You know, they kind of teach you that everything that you need is here.
Yeah.
You know, so this is kind of how she like grew up.
I respect that.
Yeah.
But what time did you grow, or where did you grow up in Arkansas?
I grew up in Fort Smith, which is like 4 hours away from Dumas. So she moved to Fort Smith and then decided to like raise the family there. But like, I think she just did that because she wanted us to have a little bit more like freedom than she had, but like not a lot, not too much.
Right. Are you like close to Little Rock?
Yeah, I'm like 2 hours away from Little Rock.
Okay, word.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a rural kind of small town?
Yeah, like 60,000 people. Like, we all know each other.
That's a lot of 60,000 is a lot of people.
Not really. Like, we know, like, everybody know everybody. Like, even with that 60,000, like, everybody know everybody.
For real?
Yeah, it's like that. We got like 2 high schools.
Oh, wow.
Even with that 60,000, it's like 2 high schools.
Okay. So growing up there and being so sheltered, did music just kind of end up becoming like that escape for you that kind of exposed you to the bigger world while your mom was trying to like keep you sheltered in?
Yeah, you know what did it? Google. I went to YouTube University, and Google, man, like, when the internet came into my house, bro, it was like the next thing. I like discovered like Atlantis. I don't know. Like, I just found out like all this stuff about the internet, and like I just became like an internet kid, and like just like chronically online. Even like now, like I'm still like have to like put my phone up because I'm like always on it.
Me too. Yeah, I'm literally the same way. So you went to is that like? Did you teach yourself to produce and everything? Like, how did that whole process like kind of get there?
You know what? It was so funny is like I learned how to do everything because somebody pissed me off. Like, just pissed me off on like waiting, like, you know, or like somebody played in my face. Like, I learned how to do like graphics because like I met a graphic person that was like playing in my face. So I was like, you know, I'll do it. Or like I got into producing. Somebody pissed me off in production. So, you know what, I'll do it. And I just sat down and like I just learned everything like in a rageful way. I encourage everyone to not do that. But like,
I encourage everybody to do that because I did the same thing.
No, so yeah, we're one in the same then. Like, it's all because like you want to do the right thing, you want to collaborate, and then some people are just like not on that time, and you're just like, you know what? I'm gonna learn how to do it so I don't gotta ask nobody else. And
Exactly.
That's
yeah.
kind of literally like what it is.
I learned how to Photoshop because my friend who I was doing a podcast with at the time would take too long to do the graphics. So I was like, bro,
Yeah.
don't worry
Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
I was like,
then-
I'm gonna start doing it.
The moment you stop hitting them up, they're like, bro, you never hit me up for graphics anymore. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, man. Like, yeah.
Well, if I can make a graphic in an hour and it takes you 3 days, like I'm gonna do it
Tell me about it.
because you got a schedule to keep.
That's exactly what it is.
So it was like most of the music, even now that you put out, mostly self-produced and all that, or
Yeah, so I work really close. I found this producer. His name is Truls, and he lives in Norway. And when I was like shopping for a songwriter deal in LA, they were putting me in sessions. And he was in a group called TRXD, and they did like EDM. And we met, and then like we hit it off like instantly. And then like 2020 happened, the pandemic. He was kind of by himself, and then like I was by myself. And then he just hit me up on Instagram one day. I was like, hey, what if we just like started cooking up over like the internet? And I'm like, how the hell are we gonna do that? And he introduced me to like audio movers and like Zoom screen sharing, and he like took over my computer and like put me on, and like yeah, it was pretty crazy. So like ever since then, it's just me and Truls.
that's tough. So it's just you two always.
Yeah, always.
And he's still in Norway. Mm-hmm. That's wild.
Yeah.
Have you ever met him in person?
Yeah, a few times.
Okay, he's been over here, or you've been over there.
No, he's been over here. That's how I met him originally in 2019.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, we had
so
like a session, and then like he came here. The last time he was here, I think it was like 2021.
Okay, so it's been a little while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But that's cool. So like you mentioned the songwriting stuff, and even in the freestyle, you mentioned that like what was the bar in the freestyle where you mentioned songwriting?
I was really writing for your favorite singers. Check the credits, you can see it. I'm the greatest feature.
So are there active credits that we could see?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. I moved to LA right out of high school, you know, and we're talking about my mom being like sheltered, you know, and like imagine me saying I'm about to move to LA.
She was bad. She freaked the fuck out.
Bro, like everybody freaked the fuck out. They were like, what the hell are you doing? Like, what, the devil's got my boy. You know, Arkansas is the Bible Belt on top of everything else. So on top of everything
The devil's
else.
got my boy.
Yeah,
It's
that's
crazy.
exactly what it was. Like city slickers and, you know, all that stuff. So I moved to LA to be an artist, but like I found myself like maneuvering quicker as a songwriter because a really good friend of mine told me this at the end, like, you know, more recently, he was just like, everybody already has what they need. They don't necessarily need an artist. Like every artist already has a crew, you know, I've heard like producers go to LA and they join a crew, songwriters join a crew, engineers join a crew. Artists, you have to start a crew. So like, that's kind of like where it was for me. And like, I realize that now, but at the time I was like, damn, like I can get in this room way quicker as a songwriter than I can as an artist. And like, that's kind of what ended up happening.
That's fire though. I ain't gonna lie. So who's some of the people that you could say that you've written for?
Yeah, so there's this group called Pretty Much. That's the name of the group.
I've heard them. Yep.
Yeah, they have a song called Phases, and we did that song for them. I did a lot of J-pop, a lot of K-pop. Chen Mina, she's so dope. I did this record for her called Voicemail Number 5. It was like the lead single off her project. Who else? I've done some stuff with this really dope artist named Shaylin. I've done stuff with Diamond White. Like just like a shit ton of like different people. A lot of influencers too, like the social media kids because they paid the most. Like in LA, that's like they're the ones that pay up front. You know, aside from like K-pop and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so I was doing a lot of that too.
Get into the K-pop bag. That's a really big bag too.
It's a beautiful bag. It's a beautiful bag.
I was about to say, how do you even like? Do you have to write in their language? Like, how does that kind of?
I wrote in English, and then with Shanmina, she's so dope. I wrote it in English, and then she would like listen to it and like retranslate what I said and like put her own spin on it. But like we were like when I see it retranslated back to me, we're pretty much still saying the same shit. Like, you know, like if we're talking about like heartbreak or like, you know, you broke my heart, I'll never like believe you again. She'll say it in her language, and then like when it's retranslated back, it's like pretty much the exact same thing.
That's so dope.
Yeah, and it's hard to do that.
I can imagine. But that's why the bag is nice.
Yeah,
because it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
So you're doing pretty well for yourself aside from like like making your own music too.
As a songwriter, and like, but I just wasn't like satisfied. You know, like it was like a lot of like giving yourself away, and there was a lot of like ups and downs and a lot of waiting, and like I didn't have a team, and like that was like the hardest part. Like I'm signed to Pulse Music Group, along with Wide Eyed for publishing, and like the hardest thing was just like not having a team. So like I'm writing all of these songs with Truls, but like I don't have anyone that's like fighting for me behind the scenes to like give it to, you know, another artist, or like, you know, it was really like relying on like my connection to the artist. So like all the placements that I've like gotten have been like based off of my connection to the artist. So like me like networking my ass off and like, you know, being in the right spot at the right time. You know what I mean? So at the beginning of this year, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to take a huge risk again, and I'm going to like cut off the bag for the songwriting, and I'm going to like bet on myself as an artist. And I could like stay like, you know, content, I guess, as a writer, or like I could go do what I want to do, and that's be an artist. And like that's always what I wanted to do, was be an artist first.
Right.
So I did that at the beginning of the year. And then that's like what led me to literally at the end of the year on the radar with fucking Gabe. Like, what? Bet on yourself, kids. Like, I'm telling you.
Right.
Like,
that's fine. So you're not even doing no other songwriting right now?
Not right now, no. And
but there are still some songs out there, like probably that you have like floating that are waiting to get placed too,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
for sure. And like, I mean, me and Truls, we have a vault of stuff, you know, that like, you know, that could go anywhere. But I think like, I haven't done one session for a songwriter this year. Like, and that's where like the money was coming from, you know what I mean? So like, I just used what I had saved, and like, you know, it's like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do and bet on myself, and like whatever happens, happen. You know, I had to talk to the same kid that I talked to when I convinced myself to move to LA right after high school. You know, it's like 7 years later, and I'm like, okay, like I have to talk to that kid again and be like, hey, you know, we're gonna do this. You want to be an artist, like you don't want to be like just another person amongst the crowd. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I respect that. So tell me, how does this 7-Eleven contest? It was a 7-Eleven contest, right?
Yeah.
How does that contest? Because like I wasn't entirely sure on how it worked, but how did the contest work that led into the tour with Flo Milli?
Right. Oh my God. So I literally, back to the artist thing, I was like, you know what? Like, what does it take to be an artist in this era? A lot of like TikTok covers, a lot of like remixes, a lot of social media. So I was like, you know what? Every time I see a challenge, I'm just gonna do it. Whether it's a cover, whether it's a remix, whether it's just me putting myself out there. And I remember like getting on my phone and I saw Flo Milli, and she like, hey, I'm doing an open verse with 7-Eleven. Like, if you like dig it, drop a verse, and like if it's fire, like I'll put you on the remix, right? And I wasn't gonna do it. And I was like, you know what? Next time. You know what I mean? I was like trying to talk myself out of it, you know? And I sent it to some LA friends, and I was like, y'all, should I do this like thing? Like, hopefully, like, hoping that they would like talk me out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, but they're like, if you don't get your ass up and do that challenge. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just post it and see what happens. And like, I remember just literally posting it and like just see what happens. And then I like get off my phone and I wake up like literally like the next day, Slurpee was like, hey, we want to post this on our main page. Like, is that okay? I was like, okay, cool. Like, I didn't think anything of it. I'm still planning my year around being an artist, but I'm just like, that's just something that happened. And then like a month goes by, and I remember it's like a Tuesday, and then I get an email like on a Wednesday saying like, hey, hypothetically speaking, if you were to win, like, would you be able to come to New York like this week? And I'm like, hypothetically speaking, like, sure. Like, hypothetically speaking, I win. Okay, I'll do it. You know, and then literally like that weekend, I got another email from another guy named Tyler. Shout out to Tyler, and he accidentally told me I won before I like saw that I had won.
That's fine.
Yeah, and he was like, "I'm sure you've seen by now. Congratulations." And I'm like, I haven't seen shit. Like, you know, I'm checking online and like nothing happened. It went to my spam folder, bro. Damn. And like at the bottom, it was like, you have 72 hours to confirm. If not, like the prize will be forfeited. And I was like, dude, like if I would have fucking missed, if Tyler wouldn't have sent me that, I'd have never caught like the actual email.
Yeah.
You know? And I thought that was like fate again. So after that, we flew to New York. We did the verse. We filmed the music video. We did all that stuff. And then they're like, hey, Flo's going on tour, which they didn't tell me that until probably like a week before she was in New York. So like I had no idea that they were planning it. Like they told me they were planning something, but they didn't tell me what it was. And like I thought that was like insane for a second. And then a week later, I'm in New York and I'm opening up for Flo Milli, and like there it is again, you know, all thanks to that. But like I think that was like separate from the Slurpee thing. I think that was just like the crew that put together it with Slurpee. They're just like, hey, we really want to keep pushing this, and like let's bring Rhyan back out. Like he was such a good vibe, and let's see if we can do this. And then Flo was like down for it. Like she was like down for it the whole way. Like Flo is like a fucking trooper, man. Like she was so down to earth, and like she like talked with me like 2 hours after the show. Like we were just chopping game, you know?
That's fire.
And she was just like, yo, you're supposed to be here. Like this is like your moment. Like, you know what I mean? Like God don't make mistakes. And like, you know, I was like, damn, like she was like really spiritual and like, you know, in astrology and shit like that.
In astrology and shit like that. That's fine though, cause like even when you were performing, because you did like a remix of like a Biggie song, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he got good energy. And it's like sometimes it's hard for openers to kind of like get the crowd's attention or get them to care.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you did a great job of like making them like care about you and
Yeah.
like being engaged with your performance too.
Oh, dude, thank you. I think with that, I like realized at the beginning, like my job is to like entertain them and get them hype for Flo Milli. So I was like, you know what, that's what I'm gonna do. And then like once as an opener, you realize that, and then like I think everything else just kind of goes away. You know what I mean? Like it's like, okay, cool. I'm just here to, you know, hype these people up for Flo Milli and like mix it in with my music and like. Yeah, they were there to have a good time anyway, so it helped a lot.
Right, make it make sense. So we also, before we get out of here, I want to talk about the project that you just dropped, a little EP. Let's Get Very Serious EP out now.
Yeah.
Go check that out. Go run it up. What was like the intention behind making this project?
Honestly, it was like a waterfall release EP.
Okay.
So like I was just dropping songs throughout the year, and then I was like, you know what? All right, here's everything together, tied into one. You know, my favorite song on there probably is like It Changes, but I love 800 Dash. They Driving You Crazy. That one's like fucking bananas. Wodie's in the South is crazy, but like the whole project is just like, again, me and Truls sitting down together and just being like, all right, we just want to create this artistry shit. Yeah.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, go check out that EP. Go run that up. What else you got coming up? What else do people got to know about before we get up out of here for today?
Yeah. You know, we got the On the Radar freestyle probably out now. I know.
Yep.
Check that out. And then next year, I'm dropping just straight R&B vibes. Like, you know,
Ooh,
I really want to transition into the singing thing. And like, you know, I rap and sing, but I feel like finding a niche helps as like a new artist, you know? So like, this was kind of like, this freestyle was like my little like stamp of like, all right, he's rapping, and now I'm gonna get into the singing shit, and you know, and you'll see a lot of that next year.
All right, man. Well, look, man, congrats on everything. I wish you nothing but success.
Thank you.
Before we get up out of here, anything else you want to let the people know where they can follow you, all that good stuff? Now's the time to do it. It's camera on the right here.
Yo, my name is Rhyan Besco, Riverboy Shit, aka Big Besco. You can follow me on all social media platforms. RHYANBESCO. You know, again, Riverboy Shit, Arkansas, we here. Let's go.
There you go. Make sure you go check out everything he has out now. Go run up the freestyle. Go run up the EP. Go show him some love. Go show him some support. Love is free. Support is free. But y'all already knew that. Until next time, Rhyan Besco on the radar. We out. Bow.
He's so good.
My guy.
He's
Love.
so good. He's so good.